Today we are going to talk about why 2025 is important in Australian real estate market. Thanks for attending this webinar. So for you, the information we are providing in this webinar is for information purpose only and should not be considered as financial advice. We encourage you to consult with a qualified financial advisor before making any investment decision. So again, I gathered the information from various resources. I'm providing you the information, but this is not a financial advice. Okay. Confidence comes with knowledge. So once you get the knowledge, that will gives you the confidence to take decision. The information I gathered from various resources, news.com, Sky News, Hashtag, CoreLogic, RP Data, Real Estate Investor, Australia New Zealand Infrastructure Pipeline, realestate.com, News Hotspotting. So as I mentioned, I gathered all these informations from various resources. The purpose of the webinar, once we get the clarity on what is going to happen in the real estate market, that will help us to take a decision. Many of the people have the potential and interest to buy investment properties, but they don't have the confidence to take action. It is due to lack of awareness about the market. So in this webinar, I'm trying to provide you more information about what's happening. The future of real estate in Australia. So in this webinar, as I mentioned, we are talking about what's going to happen in Australia real estate. Before I talk about the future, I just want to explain to you about what happened in the last 5 years. Everyone know about what happened in the last 4-5 years, but I'm just want to remind you what happened in the last 5 years. During 2020-21 COVID world pandemic, everyone experienced it. What was happened during that time? There are lots of people lost their job. Many people died. Everyone was very scared about the uncertainty in the market. The border closed for maybe more than 1 year, and many people couldn't go outside. I hope you can recollect those days. More than almost 10,000 people died in Australia. Everyone were thinking about how they can make the repayment, and they were worried about their future, their mortgage, everyone is worried about everything, more concerned about their health. There was a big uncertainty, not in Australia, all over the world. But after 21, what happened is, in Australia, the real estate market, the property value increased almost 25%. During 2020-21, no one expected like this. Everyone was discussing that after COVID, the real estate market is going to crash down because many of the people, they couldn't even make their repayment. There was that much uncertainty. Lots of people lost their job. There are lots of company went liquidation. But during 2022, the property price increased almost 25%. Here you can see this. During 2022 January, the property price increased almost 25%. And during 2022-23, that was another disaster for those who have mortgages in Australia. 13 times consistently, the interest rate increased. So each time interest rate increase, our repayment is also increasing. Every month we were getting a letter from the bank, your repayment is increased. During that time, the media was highlighted that the interest rate is going that much high and people can't afford to make the repayment. And we were expecting that if the interest rate is going like this, real estate market is going to crash down. There is no doubt. And during this time, people are scared to think about buying investment property. The people who have the investment property, they were thinking about to selling because they can't afford the repayment. So since September 2020, the interest rate increased 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 times the interest rate increased in 1.5 years. Okay. Everyone was expecting that the multiple interest rate would crash the real estate market, but with the strong population growth, rental demand, and the housing shortage fueled the house price. But it didn't impact the market till the property price increased. You may Many of you may experienced. What happened is this is the 2022. The property price increased almost 25%. During 23 as well, the property price is went up. The reason why the property price is going up, we can dig more information about what is the reason behind that. The first reason is the population growth. You know, before COVID, the average migrant rate was 200 250K per year. Here you can see 200, like 200 something. But during COVID, it went negative, went to zero. Like then after that, this migration rate increased. It reached 450 500K per year. You know, you know that during the COVID time, millions of people died in US. But in Australia, the government managed COVID in a better way. Only less than 10,000 people died in Australia. That is also another reason, uh, the attraction for the migrants to come to Australia. So after the COVID, the migration increased and it helped the population to grow up. You may experience that before COVID, if someone want to build a house, to do the land registration, it was taking just 6 months or 1 year. 1 year we can complete, we can get the land registration, and within 6 to 8 months we can complete the house construction. But nowadays, many of the places, the land registration even taking more than 2 years, 2 to 3 years, and the construction cost increased 25 to 35 percentage, and the duration is also increased, and the number of construction happening is decreased, and the population is going up as well. So this graph talking about the population is growing and the building approval is not happening that much as before. And another most important factor is the vacancy rate. The vacancy rate in Australia is record low. The vacancy, what does it mean by vacancy rate is, if you're taking 100 houses, how many houses are vacant? That tells the vacancy rate. Here, as per this graph during 2019, the vacancy rate was 3%, 2.53%, which means during this time, if there is 100 houses, 3 houses are vacant. But after the COVID 2021, 22, this is decreased. Like the vacancy rate is 1.06. That's the average vacancy rate in Australia. This is a breakdown from each states, no, each capital cities. In Sydney, 1.18, and South Australia, 0.65. Hobart 1.4. What this data shows is there is huge demand for the rental market. So there are we only less than 1% of the properties are vacant. So from this, it is obvious that the population is growing. There are shortage of supply in the market. What will happen? That will create demand. So in real estate, time is money. And another important thing is the RBA forecast, and we are expecting an interest rate cut. So that will happen coming soon, maybe within couple of months, maybe future. Maybe I cannot promise, but this is a prediction. Everyone is expecting an interest rate cut. But now, as you know, the last year, most of the people especially working in medical industry, government sector, they got 2 to 3%, 3 to 4% salary hike. And last year, during 2023, 24, there was a tax cut. The tax cut is also beneficial for many of the employees who earn like 120K in that range. So that will also, people are getting benefits from their income increased because of the tax cut. Now, another important thing in Australia, the foreign investors are flooding into Australia. This is the news from news.com.au. So here you can see that in Australia last year, more than 5,000 people invested in Australian real estate. And another country, Singapore. Singapore is also very good country to invest. People are investing in Singapore. And here in UAE, for real estate. And another country, Canada, US. So when we consider all of these countries, Australia is the number one. The people from overseas, They are comfortable to invest in Australia because they know what's happening, what's going to happen in Australian real estate market. The people who live in Australia, they don't have the confidence to take action because they don't know the facts. The people from overseas, if someone from overseas are investing in Australia, that means they are doing lots of research and they can see they are forecasting. They know the forecast what's going to happen in Australia. That is the reason why they are investing in Australia. But if someone want to invest from overseas, they have to pay lots of taxes. Still, they are investing. But the people who live in Australia, they have all the benefits. They have native gearing. They have tax benefits. They can get 100% loan option. Still, they don't have the confidence. So, it is important that you need to know and take action according to this. And another important thing is the Australia government building. There are lots of infrastructure happening in Australia, like windmill projects, rail upgrades in Victoria, tunnel, big hospitals, social infrastructure, energy in NSW, road in Queensland, big train projects. There are lots of projects. All these projects create new job openings. And another important factor, you can see this is the population during 2023, it was 26.5 million. And we are expecting by 2028, the population will reach 28.6 million. And by 2033, the population will reach 30.4 million. That is the prediction according to the data. And the job openings also increasing. During 2023, it was 14.1%, it is 16.7, which means the job openings also increasing. At the same time, earnings. During 2013, the average salary of an employee in Australia, it was 74K, but now it reached 96K. And we are expecting the average salary will increase to 132K by 2033. So the population is increasing, number of job openings increasing, at the same time earning is also increasing. All these are help to economic growth, job growth, wage is growing, population is growing, rent is also increasing. If any of you are renting, you may experience that how much percent of rent is increased in the last couple of years. And there is buyer demand is also there. All these ingredients are favor to increase in property value. Now, I just want to give you some history of what's happened in in Australia. During 1960s, the average median house price, it was just 10K. Can you think about it? Just 10K, 11K, it was the property price during 1960s. And during 1970s, it reached 23K. It went almost double. And 1980s, it reached 46K. By 2000, the median house price, this I'm talking about Sydney and Melbourne, it reached almost 365 during 2000. Now 2010, no, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, it was 729. Now we are in 2020. The property median house price in Sydney, it reached 1.2, 1.3. Median house price 1.3, 1.4. That is the range we are. So now what's happening is during 2021, 20 and 21, we know that during that time, 99% of the people don't have even think about buying investment property or own house because COVID thing. And during 2023, 22 to 23, more than 75, more than 80% people don't have the confidence to get into the market because of the interest rates keep on going up. And the media was talking about real estate market is going to crash down. And during 2024, there are lots of people came to the market and the people started buying, but many of the people still don't have the confidence. They were they are waiting for the interest rate cut. So what will happen during 2025? The government or RBA is predicted the interest rate cut. That is going to happen within maybe a couple of months, maybe. So what will happen? Once the interest rate cut happen, more people will come to the market. It will not, once the interest rate cut, we cannot expect a big cut. It will happen maybe 2%, 0.2% or 2.5%, something like that. But even that will give the people to have the confidence to take action, to come to the market. That will lead more people will come to the market. Just think about what will happen. If more people will come to the market, the property price will go up further. So my strong recommendation, if any one of you here are thinking about to buy investment property right now, take action as soon as possible. Now, okay, if you planning to buy property and if you didn't take any action for next few months, by end of this year, you will regret. Remember, time is money.
As we discussed during 2020-21, it was COVID time. During that time, most of the people, maybe 99% of the people, were not comfortable to even think about buying investment property. And during that time, the media was predicted that real estate was going to crash down because many of the people lost their job and many of them couldn't make their repayment on time. So most of them were thinking about the real estate was going to crash down. And what happened during 2020 to 23? The interest rate, as you know, that the interest rate went up several times, more than 12, 13 times. Each time the interest rate going up, the people who has the mortgage, they were getting their repayment was increasing. Those time also, most of the people were not com- comfortable. The most of the people were not comfortable to get into the market. After 23, during 2024, there are people gradually started coming to the market, but most everyone is expecting an interest rate cut. So once the interest rate cut will happen, we are expecting an interest rate cut within couple of months. We cannot expect a huge interest rate cut, but once there is an interest rate cut happen, more people will comfortable to get into the market. It is just psychological thoughts. People need a confirmation from the bank that the interest rate will not go up further. So many people will come to the market. As you know that if there is more demand for the property, definitely the price will go up further. So the conclusion is, if you are a person who is thinking about to buy investment property, do not wait long. Take action as soon as possible. As I mentioned, by 2025 will be one of the best year in Australian real estate. So you will get benefit if you take action quickly. So think about it and do your own research and take action. Okay, have a great day. Thanks for attending. Thanks for watching my video. I really appreciate you if you can like the video and if you can subscribe, you will get more similar video in future. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Again, thanks for watching my video.
Here,
Yeah, Amit,
I'm
yes.
just so just a quick one here.
Mm-hmm,
In your view and your analysis,
mm-hmm.
where is the next growth coming from?
Okay, the growth.
I'm looking at just to clarify, what I'm looking at is a short-term outlook, which is roughly say 5 years,
Hmm.
versus a long-term outlook of say 10 years. Where what does your research kind of indicate towards?
Okay, the growth, it depends on the vacancy rate, population growth, what are the infrastructure happening in that area, what are the job openings coming in that area. By considering these factors, we can predict the growth. So, for example, if you select an area, once you select the area, if the vacancy rate is 5% or 4%, we cannot expect that much growth in that area because there are lots of vacant properties are there. If the vacancy rate is less than 1%, which means there is a shortage in that market. So if there is a shortage in that market, that will help to grow the capital appreciation. That will happen. The rent will increase, and at the same time, the capital appreciation will be there. So it all depends on the data. Data means what is the population prediction for in that area, what is the vacancy rate in that area, how much supply is there, how many job openings are happening in that area. So by considering these
All right.
factors, then only, and then
20 minutes.
if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. Let me repeat it. If you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. So we are living in Australia. We know that Australian real estate market is performing well. There are lots of options to create passive income. The people in most of the people, more than 80 or 90% of the people, they are working as employees and they're fully depending on their paycheck. Just imagine if you're not getting your paycheck for the next couple of months, can you survive? If your answer is no, you need to seriously think about creating passive income. I'm not telling you everyone to buy investment properties. You need to create some sort of passive income. Like if you are very good with share market, do it, or cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, um, online business, affiliate marketing, whatever. You need to think about to create passive income. And if you are not interested in any of the things like share market or in those things, then real estate investment will be the one of the best option. And 90% of all millionaires become so through owning real estate.